Hey guys, I'm back with our market update, so let's get started. So for booster boxes, it seems like Sword and Shield is still dropping, and this is a pattern that I'm starting to see more. I've heard about before, but essentially, what we saw is that we saw a big price rise recently, and usually what happens is that prices start to correct after that. Usually not back to where they were before, but usually still a correction. So like Chilling Rain was hovering around like 366 before until it reached like 440. Now it's at 430. Fusion Strike was at like in the 500s, let's say, and now it's at like 830. So like compared to that, like they're still doing great. Um, but yeah, we are seeing drops, and I think we're continuing to see drops as I'm seeing more and more like sellers just list like lower prices over time. Chilling Rain is down $10. Fusion Strike is down $20. Silver Tap is down $10, and Astral Rain is down $5. So just like I think for one of these, there's like maybe just like one box up for sale or whatever. But yeah, otherwise you're not really seeing any price increases. We're out of this crazy yellow period over here where there was like a ton of price rises from like you know the kind of the second week of May. Now we're in the third week of May, and yeah, we're seeing more recovery and corrections. Um, Showing Rain in particular, two sold yesterday, one sold today, and at this 430 price, there's only one of them, and then it could go back to like 440 soon and then 450. But yeah, there's that one seller for Fusion Strike, which had the $20 discounts. We're seeing, yeah, I'm just saying like these two boxes over here for 830, and it goes back to 850. And then the selling rate was like zero the last couple of days, so people are trying to offload the Fusion Strike a little bit. Astral Radiance dropped $5, and yeah, it's probably because no boxes have been selling, and there's a lot of boxes around this 420 price. To be honest, it goes up to about 425. And the last one was Silver Tempest, down $10. And Silver Tempest actually sold a bunch of boxes yesterday at 4. I see all of them were around, let's see, around 360, 350, 340. So it's interesting that like, yeah, I think it's because Madona's over here put 7 boxes up all of a sudden for about 340. Otherwise, you go back to 350. For the other boxes, I think for Sword and Shield, Rebel Clash, and Dark Displays, there's been no change. Vivid Voltage, there was 1 box sold. Battle Styles, there's 3 box sold. Pricing still looks pretty much the same though. I'll say on Vivid Voltage, pricing looks kind of the same. Evolving Skies, no sales. Brilliant Stars, 1 sale, but a lot of the prices look about the same, around the 430 range. And Lost Origin, 1 sale, and it could go up to back to like 540s, but yeah, right now it's dipped down to the below 540 at 337. The more interesting case is usually Scarlet V right now. I've said this multiple times before. Booster boxes are starting to reach toward $220. They're having their ups and downs, but yeah, it seems like they're still going towards that, and that will kind of set a floor price for booster boxes. Still kind of sad how Vivid Voltage and Battle Styles are struggling toward that, so I guess I'm sort of excluding those. Those might reach 220, but that might be a little slower. Now that Sword and Shield is actually correcting and going down, there's not as much reason for Battle Styles and Vivid Voltage to rise versus it makes more sense for Scarlet Violet to rise just because the boxes are better. This is usually more Vivid Voltage Battle Styles is usually more of a desperation play versus I think there is really more value in these Scarlet Violet boxes. For base, there's a good amount sold at a 10, and the price has reached a new high of I didn't do the differences here, so that is that should be about fine. But yeah, you'll see Scarlet base went up $4. Paradox Rift, I think there's just like one box on sale, so but technically it did go to $15, back to 200. Not really that concerning. And Stellar Crown has gone up, and Surging Sparks is a little concerning to be honest. I think it's probably because of the reprint situation, but yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing Surging Sparks kind of so low in a while. I mean, I guess I saw 235, but there's a lot of boxes around this point, and the pattern is kind of shifting. I'll go over that in a sec. But yeah, I'll let you guys know which of the Scarlet V boxes seems to be moving the most. Scarlet V is at 220, and it's gonna be a little harder to get to 225. It's around over here. We get to 225, and then it's like 223. But it's not impossible. Like it's not like a million boxes or anything. But this is like 6, and this is like 11 total boxes until it gets to that point. Actually, even this one, so it's like 13 more boxes. So, it's gonna be a little harder. I think it's gonna take a little bit of supply dwindling out over time. And the other boxes consistently going to that 220 as well. Like you're seeing Temporal and Paradox have some pullbacks versus Stellar Crown, it's at 220 today. And then every other box is already at the 220 mark. Paldea Evolved, honestly nothing really too interesting. 6 were sold as expected, still around $300. Yeah, it's gonna take something for it to rise, but at least like 300 is like pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops a little bit, as some people start getting tired of this price. But I think there will be another run for it eventually. But yeah, $300 is a great price for Paldea. I don't know if I've seen that many booster boxes being 2 years old, and being $300. Obsidian Flames, yeah, it's pulling back. It was at like 250. It's been pulling back the last couple of days, just a few dollars. I think it's probably because Obsidian Flames isn't really the best set in the world. But it's good enough that people do like. I don't know. It's in a weird place. Like people have like high. It's like high popularity with little substance. That's what I feel like with Obsidian. And so the price goes to a good point, and then it'll have to correct versus like other things like there's more hesitancy. Like Twilight's a good set, but you see people get more hesitant with Twilight in general. It doesn't rise as like easily as Obsidian sometimes. So yeah, Obsidian sold 242, like 4 boxes at 246. Yeah, a lot of the prices are around that. A lot of the boxes are around that price too, so it might continue dropping. To be honest, I'll correct toward like 240 or something. Paradox, only 2 boxes sold. Yeah, there's just this one box over here from Pokemon for 200, and it goes back to 215. I do see a bunch of boxes at 215 though, so that's a bit of resistance for Paradox. So it could it's probably going to fluctuate a bit more because people always have like weird opinions of Paradox. As far as popularity goes, it really is a popularity contest. Like Obsidian is very popular. Paldea is very popular. Like even if like they're not that great sets or other things go wrong, like people just like them. Whereas SC Base has like Paradox is like Temporal is like Twilight is people like it, but they think it's a little overpriced. Stellar is there's the little popular Stellar. Stellar reminds me it's like it's not really that great, but it has some I don't know how to say it. It's like it's not quite Obsidian, but it's something. And then Surging Sparks is pretty popular. It's just usually expensive, and there's people are always hesitant to see if they should buy it or not. And also it hasn't really risen in like the longest time, so people are probably tired of it a little bit. Temporal sold 2, and there's a bunch of them around 210 over here. Actually, there's only like 6 around 210 plus that's 9, and it goes 213. Yeah, Temporal could rise pretty soon, to be honest. I mean, it's risen before. I think it's just gonna keep oscillating for a bit. Twilight, it didn't rise, but like this multi-monster deals has 17. That's why. Otherwise, it should really rise like 250 or something. But yeah, that's a bit of resistance of 17 boxes. Stellar Crown, it rose to 220, and I really think 220 will be sort of foundational price where um, it's kind of a new norm for the market. It's really not too far from going to like 230. Um, this is like 8 boxes, this is 11 boxes, and it goes to very close to 230 over here, at 229. And there's been higher demand the last few days at like 7, 8. Uh, but yeah, I think that it'll be higher than the other ones, the other cheap ones. So like SE base, paradox, and temporal. But it struggled before, but it's usually like you're just following the same sort of popularity patterns, just slightly altered. Um, Stellar is usually more expensive than temporal, paradox, and SE base. SE base, paradox, temporal usually around the same price. Paldea and Twilight usually have some similar pricing, although Paldea is kind of taken off. Um, Obsidian usually approaches temporal, and Surging Sparks is usually around. I used to say it used to be the best, but now it's just like it's always around like 240 to 260. Now that's like 235, 260. That's like this pattern keeps maintaining throughout like all the time been tracking it. And Surging Sparks, yeah, a little concerning because usually when the price goes down, you see demand kind of rise. You see a big upstream demand. I know that a lot of boxes were bought at a teacher player sale, and that helped flush it out. But even with that, like, yeah, not as many sales the last couple of days. Especially for Surging Sparks, it was 7 yesterday, nine the other day. Usually it goes like at least 20 in order for prices to go back up. And yeah, there's a lot of people selling for about 230, 237, like to 238, 239. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.